the cost at that time. That was in '87. The cost of that course was $1 million.
Then, $1 million.
Yeah.
So clearly, at this point, then it must be very high.
It's high now. So, like that course they were counting, it's a weapons course. They counted every bullet I fired, every bomb I dropped. It was costed.
Yeah. Besides
just the cost of flying the aeroplane, operating the aeroplane. Those are add-ons. So yeah, you're talking a few million, several million shillings.
Several millions of shillings.
Yeah.
For one officer.
Yeah. Flying officers.
A flying officer.
Yes.
And it's quite sad that it had to happen. Losing General Ogolla and the other men and women. There was one lady, that is Sergeant Nyawera, who also died in the copter crash. And of course, we continue to mourn with their families and to encourage them at this point. And they will be buried in diverse dates within the course of next week. And of course, as announced by the President, the government continues to assist their families in planning the burial and interment of the soldiers. But one of them, the Brigadier General from Kilifi, was buried on Friday. Yes, on Friday. And that means then, after the laying of General Ogolla, there's another 7, and the military will still be involved in the whole of the process. That's Nuruddin Haji again, making his way to the tent. I think he's coming from the briefing tent where the president is. And that's the inside of the tent where the mass will be held. And members of the public and other dignitaries are already seated. So those empty seats you see there are the VIPs who are yet to make it to the tent because they are at the briefing point. And who is that?
Maybe foreign.
Very interesting figures today. You will see a lot of people making their way to Siaya in honor. Like Colonel Shava and Colonel Rioba were telling us, there's a lot of exchanges that go in between, you know, a general probably in Kenya and a general in another country. And that means then, that is Ezekiel Mashogu, the Minister for Education, who I've seen there. And that means then there are a lot of, you know, senior military officials who will be coming from other countries to come and honor General Ogolla. I also see the Solicitor General with accompanying Minister Mashogu. It's just like we said, probably the entirety of government is in Siaya, because it is the center of all at this point as the country bids goodbye to General Francis Omondi Ogolla, who was the Chief of Defense Forces. And the quarter guard is now warming up. I don't know whether those are the military terms you use.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, warming up.
To get the blood flowing.
Yeah.
You just stand there for a long time.
Yeah, and it is important because they've been standing there warming up ahead of the arrival of the body. Yesterday we saw them, but they were not in this ceremonial uniform. I think they were wearing military fatigue yesterday.
Yes.
They were wearing the combat.
They were wearing combat.
The reason why they're wearing that, and if you listen to General Kahiri's speech, he explained that. He said, today we're all wearing our combat uniform because the general died in a combat area, and he was actually in his combat uniform. So it was in honor of that.
Okay. Yeah. Quite interesting. Yeah, so those who didn't hear that, now you understand why they were in combat uniform. It's because the general died in a combat area and died in his combat uniform. So as a means of honoring him, that's why all of them were in combat.
Yeah.
So that means then when we see General Kahariri today, he will be in his official
Today he'll be
white
in
uniform for the Navy.
Ceremonial.
Okay, the ceremonial.
Here you must wear ceremonial.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So today you are wearing ceremonial. Yesterday was fatigue.
Yeah.
So why ceremonial today?
Because it's a ceremony.
Okay.
And it's for a high-ranking officer.
Yeah.
You must be.
You might expect the next one, which is on 26th, would be in Sverige.
Yeah.
Now it will not be in his memorial service, would be in
It
Sverige.
will be in civilian.
That one was
Oh, the memorial service on the 26th.
Yeah, they will be in Sverige. You will see all of them now in Sverige. You have finished with the military, now it's his service.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay. Clearly, there are a lot of rigors involved in running the military.
It's just a standardization.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it gets a little bit mucky. Yeah. So
All right. Of course, we continue to await the arrival of a body. That's Kalonzo Musyoka, the Wiper Party leader. And of course, having an entourage of several MPs from the Wiper Party. He's also here. Remember, the opposition is pushing for an all-round investigations to establish the cause of the accident that killed General OGOLLA and the other 8. And it's also something that the Honorable Raila Odinga pressured yesterday when he spoke and mentioned that it is important that an investigation is concluded to establish what exactly transpired. Is that Peter Munya? Yes. No, it is not. It's not Peter Munya. I thought he was behind Kalonzo Musyoka, but it is not him. That's Kalonzo Musyoka. I've also seen several MPs from Wiper who are accompanying him as we await for the arrival of the body at Senator Obama Primary School in Alego, Usonga.
yeah.
The carpets are being lined up and straightened. Even the eulogy distribution is being done by the military.
Yes.
There's no civilian business here. There is no civilian business. It is the military that is in charge.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, like we say, this is a military. It's a military function.
Yeah.
Memorial service.
Yeah.
But this one,
No, even the memorial will still be.
It will still have a sense of
yes.
some military.
Some military because
looks.
it's still our function. Military function. So.
And it is important probably to check some of these things because it is the first time the country has lost a serving CDF.
yes.
That means we've never had a burial ceremony for a sitting CDF, and this is how it largely looks. Kalonzo Musyoka there is conferring with the former Muranga governor, Mwangi Wairia. He's also run into trouble with the law. I think next week he's supposed to present himself before a judge. But of course, that is not why he's there. He's there to mourn General OGOLLA. And it is important at a point like this